The views expressed on the Nova Society are those of the panelists and guests and do not necessarily reflect the views or opinions of the Phoenix Research Institute or any institution which any panel member is associated.
Welcome back to the Nova Society. I'm your host, Dr. Brooklyn Ann Weldon, and I'm here with my panel, your favorites and mine, Dr. Scott Gershfer and Dr. Mark Bound. Today we will be answering listener emails, and we have a question from Christopher, who lives in Little Rock, Arkansas. And Christopher asks, Trump signed an executive order to prosecute flag burning. This has sparked constitutional backlash, even from Fox News analysts. Does the panel see this as overreach? Yes, I do. Or just more political theater? Yeah, that too. And would a law banning flag burning stand judicial review? No, I believe it would not. The Supreme Court has already looked at it, and that includes conservative Justice Antonin Scalia, who said that flag burning is constitutional. It comes under the First Amendment of freedom of speech. However, that was Antonin Scalia, not Thomas and and Alito and Kavanaugh and Roberts and that bunch. So
the guys that are alive.
The
judge has made his decision. Now let him enforce it. When Candy's dead.
Yeah, exactly. So and the individual who burned a flag to protest the executive order saying no flag burning was cited for setting a fire in a federal park, not for burning the flag. And that was a decorated veteran who burned the flag. So who knows what the Supreme Court will do. I think it's overreach, and it probably is some political theater also to take everybody's mind or to try to take people's minds off the Epstein issue and all the other problems that Trump has created. But what say you? Mark, Scott?
So I thought we talked about this last week because I kind of remember saying this, but I'll say it again. I don't understand the burning of the flag. I think America, the United States of America, is a great country, the greatest probably in history. I value the flag as a symbol of our country. The symbolism of the flag. I'm particularly grateful that we don't have any crosses or crucifixes on the flag, which can't be said for every country in the world. This is not a Christian nation. This is a nation that has 50 stars on a blue field and alternating red and white stripes representing the 13 original colonies. We should add a couple of stars to the flag, I do believe. Puerto Rico and Washington, D.C. come to mind. We could, if you wanted to lower some, we could get rid of the Dakotas, one of the Dakotas, and probably, I don't know, let's say Wyoming, and make that a state with a bunch of other states. But whatever. You can play around with the flag all you want, but don't burn it, because I hate the government currently right now, too. I am disgusted by our leader in many, many ways for many different things. I still don't feel the need to burn the flag. I just don't get it. So if anybody was out there burning the flag, stop. It's not saying what you want it to say, I don't think. Go ahead, Brooke.
Yeah, actually, as I understand it, when a flag is old and tattered and needs to be disposed of, the proper way is not to throw it out, but to burn it. Just for people who know, do not throw away your old flags. You are supposed to burn them, which is information that I had not known. I came across that when examining information about burning the flag and as a
we're talking about symbolic burning of the flag to say that you're not happy with the country, or hanging it upside down like Justice Alito did, right? These are practices that are protected by the First Amendment. They are expressions of freedom, all good, except the flag. Just leave the flag alone. Burn the dude in effigy. That's a good thing to do.
Yeah, you can create your own.
Don't do it in a federal park.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, whatever you do, don't set a fire in a federal park.
I mean,
or a national park.
And yes, Brooklyn, you're right. I learned this in Boy Scouts as an Eagle Scout. Yes, you burn the flag. If it becomes old and tattered, that is the way to retire the flag. And, okay. And Scott's right. There's a difference in the symbolism. although both are in some ways symbolic when we're doing that. I'm not a big fan of burning the flag. I am a big fan of free speech, and I do understand that it is protected speech, especially if Anton Scalia, who you didn't get very much more conservative than Anton Scalia, but I always said I respected the man. I thought I liked his arguments, didn't agree with them all the time, but for a conservative justice of the Supreme Court, I liked him. And I think that he was a loss. I think that burning the flag is far more acceptable than going on stage and humping the flag, which our current president seems to like to do an awful lot. I don't understand that. It's I don't know. I have no idea what that's supposed to represent. But going on to this stage at CPAC and humping the flag in front of everybody, I just see it as even more disrespectful. Same thing with
humping a couch, you see, like Vance. Well, Vance
like a couch, yeah, couch. I mean, whatever. I mean, but
put the flag on the couch.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, it's also like I don't agree with people wearing the flag as a bikini.
Oh, I love that.
Or some,
I love that.
I kind of thought you might.
Not me doing it, by the way.
When we don't want to do it. But no, I mean, yeah, I
cut off
can't
shorts.
have it both ways. The flag is for a purpose. The flag is to be flown. It is a symbol of the nation. If you want to wear it on a shirt, okay, fine. But where you wear it as a bikini or whatever, of course, I can understand the argument that that could be very nice. But I mean, there's just certain things that you're claiming to be all Star-Spangled Banner, patriotic, and you're doing these things, and it kind of flies in the face of what you're trying to say. I don't think, again, we've talked about this before, executive orders are suggestions. Somebody's got to make a law. It's not like the executive order is, okay, automatically it's against the law to burn flags or anything like that. An executive order is what it is, and it is not written in stone, or is it a codified law? So we'll see where this goes. Now, there's going to be a lot of back and forth. And I am very surprised that even the Fox News commentators, the fake Fox News commentators, basically stood up in opposition to this. Of course, another little interesting tidbit just came out today, flashed across my screen. Newsmax is suing Fox News. Boy, they're eating their own young. It's so much fun to watch. There's so many things that we do with the flag, but the flag is not the nation. The flag is a symbol. And yeah, there's a lot of people who will say, hey, democracy is a complicated system, and we have freedom of speech. And this is an example of freedom of speech. You can't have it both ways. I may not like it. I may say, listen, I don't agree with it, but I can't fault somebody for doing it and feeling like they have to, except I can fault you for doing it while you're on a state park, because you'd think you'd know not to do that. I mean, I don't know. You'd think you'd thought that one through a little bit better, but obviously not.
And Christopher, just if you are interested in the law and in legal opinion, I strongly recommend that you check out J. Michael Luttig. That's Luttig. He's a former justice or judge. He is retired. He has a Substack, and he's been on many programs as well. Unfortunately, he was never put on the Supreme Court because he would be far better than a number of the justices I can think of. In my estimation, he's conservative, so I would disagree with many of his views. However, Judge Luttig is principled and ethical and follows the Constitution, and I greatly enjoy listening to what he has to say. He knows what he's talking about. He relies on the Constitution and on the law, and listening to him is insightful and a great relief compared to listening to the views of the Supreme Court with whom he greatly disagrees. So you can check out his Substack, and again, that's J. Michael Luttig, for anybody who is, for Christopher and anybody else who's interested in looking more deeply at the law. And I would imagine that Judge Luttig has written about the flag and flag burning. and that should help you. So do you have any further thoughts?
Just
Mark?
the old Sinclair Lewis quote from the book It Can't Happen Here. When fascism comes to America, it'll be wrapped in the flag and carrying a cross.
Yep.
This fascism, I believe, is here in the form of Donald Trump. It's not surprising that he's invoking the flag as a symbol, to sort of hide his true intentions, which seems to be to destroy America. And again, if he happens to be wrapped in the flag and you want to set it on fire, go for it. Green lighting that one.
Alrighty. So thank you, Christopher, for your question. And thank you to everyone who has been listening to us and for sharing some of your day with us. We appreciate that. If you are not yet subscribed on the platform of your choice, please do so. Subscribing is free, and we look forward to seeing you again next time on the Nova Society.
The Nova Society is a production of Nova Society Media, a division of the Phoenix Research Institute. We'd like to thank our production partners, Buzzsprout, who hosts the Nova Society, Audacity, our editing partners, Apple iTunes, the largest source of podcasts and music on the internet, Spotify, the most popular platform for the Nova Society, and iHeartRadio, your source for all things music and podcasting. The Nova Society is available on all of these and other quality platforms listed in our description. We'd also like to thank all of our listeners. Without your support, the Nova Society would not be possible. If you have a question or comment, we can be reached at nova.society.podcast@gmail.com. So for Dr. Brooklyn Ann Weldon, Dr. Scott Gershwer, and all of our production partners here at the Nova Society, I'm Dr. Mark Bound. Remember, the true power in society is knowledge. Thanks for listening, and we will see you again next time.
Hi, everyone. This is JJ, the co-founder of Good Pods. If you haven't heard of it yet, Good Pods is like Goodreads or Instagram, but for podcasts. It's new, it's social, it's different, and it's growing really fast. There are more than 2 million podcasts, and we know that it is impossible to figure out what to listen to. On Good Pods, you follow your friends and podcasters to see what they like. That is the #1 way to discover new shows and episodes. You can find Good Pods on the web or download the app. Happy listening!